Daily Bitcoin chart on the screen. I talked a bit about this Bitcoin movement in the live stream. Their straight talk is on. In my view, it's OBTC. It's forming a head and shoulders, right? In my analysis, OBTC is forming a head and shoulders. I have been signaling this for a few days here in the live stream. Left shoulder movement, head movement, right shoulder movement. So any scenario of Bitcoin below 31,000 US dollars, which is, would be the target here, from this left shoulder pointer, any scenario below 31,000 US dollars would configure a head and shoulders. So we are currently making the continuation leg of the head and shoulders and also commenting, right? What we already mentioned in the Straight Talk live stream. OBTC lost the uptrend line on the daily chart. Oh, so we were actually making ascending bottoms. However, in the last few days, in the last 3 days, OBTC lost this uptrend line. It lost this movement here on the daily chart, and when you lose a movement on the daily chart, when you lose an uptrend line, usually, you have a correction of up to 50%. So OBTC is now testing, right? It is already testing the zone below what was expected for this movement. Let's just take a look. Oh, it is exactly within the Fibonacci zone. Holding exactly within the Fibo zone, right? So here is the decision point for BTC. If it fails to move above 26,742, it is 26,742. If it fails to move back above that, it's here. The Fibo zone is a little lower now, it's at 26,755. So if it fails to surpass the region of 26,900, it won't be able to return to test the higher region here of 28,200. And if it loses the region of $26,000 to $26,200 or so, if it loses this region of $26,000, then it will go back to $24,000. And $800 US dollars, $24,900 US dollars. This is inevitable. BTC is at a decision point graphically. Looking at the daily chart, this is the scenario. We will probably have a weekend of sideways movement or a deepening of the fall. Today we have a not so nice day on the chart. We have a more pronounced selling pressure, right? BTC, today it fell 0.46% on the daily chart. Quad A idea is for it to remain in this context and come to test patterns in the region of $26,000 plus one time. This is what I am waiting for BTC. Looking at this scenario that we have, logically, if it can break, right? This trend line that was formed here above, there's a trend line here on the daily chart. If it can break this trend line, then we may be able to see a slight recovery of BTC. It's surpassing the region of $27,200, $27,000, and $300. Otherwise, it will probably have a rebound high or just a confirmation of the continuation of the downward movement. A return to test this LTAE and continue the downward movement, right? So this is the scenario we are seeing for OBTC at the moment. Looking at the daily chart, we don't have any other expectation for Bitcoin. In fact, it may not make this rebound bar and simply lose this region and go lower. If it loses the $25,026 to $1,500 level, losing $26,500, there is a high probability of it going down to $26,000 or $25,900. If it loses this region, it will return again to $24,900 US dollars. This is the movement of BTC. And we don't have much else to say besides that, right? This is the context. And there's no point in inventing, losing $24,800 US dollars. The first target of the movement is $22,900. The second target of the movement is $20,000 US dollars. This is the movement of BTC. In this context, if we have confirmation of the head and shoulders, we will have a very simple movement to analyze. It's head and shoulders, very easy for you to observe. This is the scenario, right? This is the scenario. The breakout of this zone, the Bitcoin movement projection will bring us logarithmic scale to the previous bottom region, $19,000 US dollars. So, this is the context, okay? This is the Bitcoin context. Don't be certain, stay tuned.